Welcome to our video on Kansas Lease and Landlord-Tenant laws. Landlords need to know their state's laws to manage their rental units well. To help you do that, here's an overview of Landlord-Tenant laws in the Sunflower State. The lease agreement is the foundation of the landlord-tenant relationship. It's a legally binding contract between a landlord and tenant that covers the terms of the rental relationship. A standard lease agreement is a one-year fixed-term contract. A Kansas lease should include basic terms like rent amount, rent due date, lease term, late fee policies, and pet policies. To fully protect landlords, it should also cover details like pest control, snow removal, air filter responsibilities, and yard maintenance. The lease must include the name of any person authorized to manage the property and a name and address for official notices. Within 5 days of the tenant taking possession, the landlord and tenant must walk through the property and document the property condition. Landlords of rental units built before 1978 must provide tenants with a lead-based paint disclosure and pamphlet.
Next, let's talk about Kansas Landlord-Tenant laws. Landlords may charge up to 1 month's rent for an unfurnished rental unit and up to 1.5 months' rent for a furnished unit. Landlords must provide tenants with an itemized list of any deductions within 14 days of the end of the tenancy and return the security deposit within 30 days of the end of the tenancy. In Kansas, landlords must give reasonable notice before entering the property and should only enter during reasonable hours. Generally, at least 24 hours is considered reasonable notice, and normal business hours are considered reasonable times. There are no statutory limits on late fees. However, any late fees should be discussed in the lease agreement and reasonably related to expenses incurred due to the late payment. Kansas landlords may require tenants to get renters insurance and can make failure to do so a breach of the lease agreement. Returned payment fees may not exceed $30. Fixed-term leases terminate at the end of the period unless otherwise stated. Either party can terminate a month-to-month lease agreement with 10 days' notice. Kansas has no limits on rent increases. That said, the lease should discuss the procedure and notice requirements for increasing rent.
Landlords must provide a habitable rental unit and keep properties in compliance with all applicable housing regulations. Tenants should promptly notify landlords of any needed repairs. Landlords should complete repairs and maintenance in a reasonable timeframe. If the landlord fails to make necessary repairs, tenants have specific rights, including the right to make repairs and deduct that amount from rent. If a tenant fails to pay rent or violates the lease agreement, the landlord may start the eviction process. In these situations, landlords must strictly follow Kansas law and can never resort to self-help eviction methods, such as changing locks or shutting off utilities. Congratulations, you're now ready to create a Kansas lease and manage your Kansas rental unit. Our lease agreement automatically includes all required disclosures and gives you state assist tips as you build it. It's easy to customize online and offers unlimited access to our electronic signing tool, EasySign. As you manage your rental, remember that we have over 400 property management forms, including Kansas-specific forms. Visit easylandlordforms.com to start your tenant screening and create a Kansas lease agreement guaranteed to comply with all Kansas lease laws.